Now, another dispute is brewing between Australia and guess who? China. On this picturesque island, you'd hope there wouldn't be trouble in paradise, but residents are reporting developer China Bloom has restricted their freedoms from several parts of the island. What a magnificent spot. There's been multiple reports that residents can now no longer access the national park, and tourists have been told they're not welcome. Joining me now, Queensland MP for Dawson, George Christensen. George, it's great to see you tonight. I know you've been keeping a very, very close eye on this. What can you tell me is the latest? You've been trying to engage with China Bloom to find out what's going on. Where are they at, these guys?
Well, thanks, Gleeso. And as you've said, the island dream's turned into a nightmare for these Keswick Island residents. And I've been, on their behalf, trying to get in contact with the directors of China Bloom so that we can sit down, smoke the peace pipe, proverbially, no substances involved, but you know, come to some sort of arrangement. But you know, we can't get anyone. They've just got a couple of local managers on the island that are meting out the response we've seen thus far, which has been to cut off the safe access by boat to the island, to put in signs that stop access to other areas, to charge about $1,500 on an approved helicopter flight into the island. So all of these things make it very difficult for free and fair access for the island residents.
Mm. And George, there's a perception, certainly among the locals, that they're trying to run down the property prices so that they can basically run the show themselves.
Yeah, look, that's certainly the speculation that's out there. It is speculation, but probably well-founded. I mean, the fact is right now, I heard from one of the residents today who said to me that there'd be no bank within or without Australia that would be willing to actually lend for finance to purchase a property on that island. The properties would almost be considered valueless because there would be no one willing to actually purchase a property over there. So the property values have been run right down, and you can only speculate as to why that has been the deal. Why this restricted access has led to that. Was it deliberate or not? I don't know. Only the island head lease owners themselves can say that. But I mean, we'll be looking very closely to see if they start offering pittances to buy out properties there. I hope that's not the case. I hope that that something can be worked out here, because these people need free and fair access to their island homes.
Mm. And of course, the Palaszczuk government ultimately has control of this island. It granted a 99-year lease to a particular company about 8 or 10 years ago. They've on-sold the lease to the China Bloom company. Surely it's incumbent upon them, George. I mean, the allegations are serious. Allegations of poor behaviour, lack of access, illegal building, stopping tourism, stopping tourists. I mean, surely they need to intervene and say, look, enough's enough.
Well, the crazy thing is that a few years back, it was actually a minor royal that owned the island, and they had a couple of options that they could on-sell it to. And my understanding is they needed state government approval to on-sell the head lease. So the state government actually approved the head lease being on-sold to this Chinese company, China Bloom, whereas there was actually another option, an option made up of locals, including island homeowners, that they could have sold it to, but they chose not to go down that track. So the problem has been of the state government's own making in terms of approving this sale to a Chinese company, and they really need to actually do something. I've written to the state, the residents have written to the state, the response is just the same. It's falling on deaf ears. I mean, for heaven's sake, they're actually saying, oh, go to your local council to talk about the access issues. I mean, the local council's not going to fix this issue. It needs to be dealt with by the island owner, which is the people of Queensland, and the state government's entrusted with governing that, and it needs to be dealt out with the island head lessee, China Bloom.
Indeed. Keep on the case, George. Great to see you tonight.
Thanks very much, mate.